And he'd be the world's strongest man. Put your hands together.
Yeah.
He may well win it one day.
Giants Live in the Wembley Arena was definitely another story yet again about how preparation is key. Well, basically, I put all my focus and energy into World's Strongest Man, which just happened to be a couple weeks before Wembley. For World's Strongest Man, I was training 4 days a week, 3 hours at a time, giving it everything I possibly had. It was like a childhood dream to chase after that title, and I got it. I won World's Strongest Man. That was incredible. And of course, right afterwards, all I wanted to do was just relax and celebrate. And I got invited to this show. The feelings before the show, I felt flat, and it kind of took my strength for granted. That's really because after doing such a achieving such a big goal of mine, I felt like, you know, the big man in the house. I could do anything. I don't really need all that training. I've trained enough during my life. 2 weeks off, what's that gonna do? Wow, that hit me in the face.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to welcome our last athlete into the arena. He hails from the United States of America and is the reigning and defending world's strongest man. Ladies and gentlemen, raise it up for Martins Licis. Martins Licis, 28 years of age, 160 kilograms of him, representing the United States of America. Wembley, raise it up for the reigning world's strongest man.
Martins Licis, he's just come off the back of World's Strongest Man. He won it. He dominated. You know, he beat the best in the world in his disciplines, and this is the first contest since the World's Strongest Man. And this is crucial. You know, this is the one where all eyes are on him, and all the athletes are chasing him as well, because it's like being the heavyweight boxing champion of the world. You know, you can go into your pro fights, you can win them, but what if that guy went into a white collar boxing match against almost, well, not a nobody, but somebody, lower down the ranks? They're going to try their damn hardest to knock that guy out, and this is exactly what's going to happen here. 2-3 weeks since the World's Strongest Man, and I think most of the guys here competed at the Worlds, and they will have had some downtime. You know, they'll have had a week off, I'd imagine, and then it's getting back into it, and it's tough. Even having 1 week off in the strength industry can really set you back a sort of month or more of training. Martins has definitely done that. You can tell he's gone home, he's relaxed, he's enjoyed his win. You know, he's absorbed it in, he's spent time with his family, because no doubt in all that training and sacrificing the lead up to Worlds, you know, he wouldn't have spent much time with his missus, he wouldn't have seen his mum or dad or brother, you know, his friends. He'll have been dedicated, so it's good to come back and sort of catch up on all that, and so will the other guys, but some more than others. Speaking to Martins, yeah, you know, he's relaxed, and I think he's coming in a little bit too relaxed, and that can be a problem. We've got Matthias Kaliskowski, who is eager, you know, a little bit younger than Licis, and I think looking at Matthias, he's gone home and he's got straight back into training. So I think Matthias is actually going to be coming in more closer to his final form than Martins is, and it's definitely between these two. It definitely is. So to break it down, I mean, what the max deadlift, I spoke to Martins, he pulled a 400 kilo deadlift last week. Apparently it didn't feel good, you know, it felt heavy. That will do if you had a bit of time off and you're not sort of on the ball. That will happen, but that 400 kilo could well wake up and activate a lot of muscle, and he could be ready to pull 1,000 pounds today, which he might well do. Then got the farmer's walk. Martins got the best grip here. He's fast on his feet, he's explosive, so he could possibly win that, but I think Matthias is going down for the win on the farmers. We have the Hercules hold, and again, Martin's grip is the best here, so he shouldn't have any worries there. He's just got to hold on for dear life, block out that pain, win that event. We've got the safe press. Now this is where Martins could really fall down, because it doesn't matter how strong you are on overhead. If somebody's gone away and done their homework and trained on this safe press for a few months, they've got you. They've got you. They could be, you know, your max sort of axle could be 200 kilo, and a man that's max axle is 170. But if that man that does 170's trained this safe press for months and months and months, he's got it. He's got it because it's a lot of technique, it's a lot of getting under it, it's a lot of pressing, it's a lot of balancing. It's a very hard event. I've done it in the past, and I know it takes months to master. If you don't, you know, in those first 3 or 4 sessions doing it, terrible, absolutely terrible. And if he's only done 1 session on it, he could really lose a hell of a lot of points here. But the other guys are in kind of the same boat, because they're all come back off the World's Strongest Man. They've all been training for Worlds, and they've only had 3 weeks to train for this contest. Then we've got the Atlas Stones, where Martins beasted it at World's Strongest Man. You know, he won the Atlas Stones. He did all 5 stones up to 220 kilo in 27 seconds, which is phenomenal. That's really, really fast. They're a little bit lighter here, the 200 kilo stones, and I know the heavier stones suit Martins better than the lighter ones, because he's not necessarily as fast as the other guys on his feet, but he can manhandle those stones better than anybody. So I'm thinking, bar the safe press, I think Martins can come in the top 2 on every event today. And in my eyes, you've got to be coming the top 2, top 3 on every single event to be winning it. But if the safe press lets him down, you know, he might just get snooped and get that 2nd place behind Matthias. That's my prediction.
With the crowd, as always, pitching shot Shimmer for the CGA with the deadlift. Looking for spoon.
Here we go. It's event 1 versus max deadlift, last man standing. The week before Wembley, I did get my hands on a deadlift. It was just slightly under 400 kilograms. It took me 3 attempts to actually get the weight up. First attempt, didn't budge off the floor. Second attempt, kind of creeped up like maybe an inch. Third attempt, finally, I was barely able to pull 400 kilograms. Now this is just a week before Wembley. Now that messed with my head. That was like kind of a wake-up call, like, oh my goodness, I am not ready for this show. I don't want to go. But of course the tickets are bought, people know I'm coming, the expectation is on, and here I am in Wembley with this knowledge that just a week ago I could barely get the opening weight, a weight that I could typically do for repetitions. On another note, I had gained all this weight recently, so my suits that I used to use didn't quite fit, so I was doing this raw. Other guys had suits, they were blasting up easier. I just couldn't. I needed to get a new suit apparently. So I was just crossing my fingers that I'd get the opening weight and I'd get a good shot at 420 kilograms to get me some points. I was looking at, I just thought, I had it in my head, Matoush wouldn't even get 400 kilograms. So that would give me a good jump on him and would get me a good pace to good pace in the contest to at least get 1st place. But no, this guy, he pulled out a good PR and pulled 400 kilograms. All these other guys are pulling and staying right up to me. I ended up tying for a 3rd place with a 420 kilogram pull. 440 kilograms got stuck to the floor. And it was phenomenal watching Rauno Heine and Jerry Pritchett pull over 1,000 pounds, roughly on 460 something kilograms.
So, Bill, Martins Licis now has the opportunity to gain a really, really big leap of headway over his competitors, particularly if the number of guys continue to do well. Licis.
And in his mind, it's only 420. 465 is a must, and an absolute for him on his way to the 5.
Here we go. Martins Licis. Latvian support in the crowd, willing this now. He starts a hit into a rebound. Martins Licis completes that 420 with ease. Martin would love him to hit this 440.
Well, if anyone at the top of that left with speed and power, he's standing on the platform right now.
We know that he's going to be looking to get through this one again. A lot of pressure on his shoulders, but he'll be looking at the long grass again, looking at the night as a whole. It would be great to get this one. Martins. Nope, doesn't want anything to do with it, and that'll do for Martins. And enough tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Big round of applause for Martins Licis. Two of our American lifters will not lift again tonight. Well, this one.
This was hiding. You like that?
Condoms.
One event I didn't get my hands on the week before the contest was the farmers, because I thought I had it down. These were giant beams, metal beams with handles on them. I go to pick them up, and then it's 150 kilograms per hand, which is no problem. And I'm blasting off fairly quickly. I'm ahead of Mikhail Shivnikov. Good pace, but the issue is, because this is the part that goes against my principles and technique, I was going too wide. I'd been training to get my yoke up, so it goes slightly wider on a yoke run. And my thighs have also grown a lot, so they push outwards. So it's been really hard to push my legs in lately. And with these kind of farmers that don't really give space for your legs to run, my legs kept pushing or kicking these weights. So they started coming out of my grip. I kept kicking the implements over and over again until my grip is strong, but I couldn't hold on. On the way back, I just started dropping it, and then Mikhail got ahead of me, and I lost a lot of time. I was on a good pace for a top place finish in that event until I just couldn't hold on. I dropped it several times before I actually crossed the finish line, placing me somewhere in the bottom of that event. And so all of a sudden, I was tied for last place, or almost last place in the contest. And wow, that was a slap to my face.
States of America.
On the whistle. Ready?
We are with Shivnikov for a little bit of priority. Licis boys. He's asking for Shivnikov.
Martin, though, maybe could be world's strongest man someday.
Power of prediction. Awesome stuff from Shivnikov. Mike, what do we got?
24.75.
24.75, faster than Felix, not as fast as Kilishkovsky.
It's your responsibility to keep it on the platform, all right? So don't run about with it. It's your responsibility to get it back on. All right, you get that, Martins?
Event number 3 was a safe press, which is basically like pressing a yoke. And the week before, I was able to get my hands on it. Got a thorough, just one attempt on it just to see where I was with 150 kilograms, and I was able to get 8 repetitions in training in less than a minute. I thought that was good. Good enough, okay. I'm gonna go into the contest. I attempted the first repetition, didn't get it. Okay, get better foot placement, make sure that I'm more under it rather than pressing it away from me, get the second rep. And then like between a few of those reps, I had a few attempts where I just couldn't move the weight. I just couldn't get the positioning. I don't know if it was focus. Looking back, I'm just gonna have to watch a video and try to figure out what was off in that. I just couldn't get the positioning. Now my the best handler in the world, Lindsay Bowen, noticed that she said that the rail might have been lower than what I was training with. So instead of having the beam up here where it's easier to get under, it was down here. So I should have been squatting deeper to get under it. But yeah, I had half the repetitions in contest than I did that training day a week prior. During that event, I had a thought that hadn't crossed my mind ever in a contest before. On the third rep, trying to get the fourth, missing it a couple times, considering stopping right there, I thought to myself, man, I just want to go home.
Come on, boys, let's go!
They were all over the place. You were rock solid. How'd it feel?
Awful. I had a week to train for this. I feel flat, no energy. Gotta wake myself up for every event. But goodness, what a crowd.
Going into the fourth event, the Hercules hold, my grip is very strong. I was in last place at this point. And I needed to really pull through. And every single fiber of my being was screaming at me, I'm done. I'm done. I need to quit. I need to go home. Find an excuse. Say you're injured. Just pull out of this contest. But of course I'm here for the fans. I need to give them a good show. I can't just leave. I'm King Dragon. I got to give them something to look at. Doesn't matter how I end up at the show, I got to go out a fighter. Jerry Pritchett has a strong grip. Mateusz has a very strong grip. Now, I have thought that Mateusz has a better grip than me because in the past, when we've done World's Strongest Man, either farmers or frame carries, I've had trouble holding onto the frame. And I thought that's because he has a stronger grip. Now I realize it's not because he has a stronger grip. It's because he runs so much faster than me in those carry events that he doesn't have to hold on so long. My grip is just a little bit stronger. So I need to hold out a little longer and at least get second place in the event to shoot me back up in the rankings. And I did it. What's there more to say? I wrenched on. I made sure to squat really deep, had a really wide stance so that the weights wouldn't rock me either left or right. And I held on for at least 50 seconds, 50 point something. And then I was the first person to go out of everybody. Then I watched everyone attempt it and try to go after that 50. Jerry and Mateusz got freakishly close with 48, 49 seconds, but couldn't quite reach that 50-second mark. And I got the second place I needed.
Martins Licis.
27.54, authoritative, and I love that.
I'm always aware of my stone goes in the hole, so. Imagine if I could deadlift. That's 4 events. Just get my deadlift and I'll be winning this one.
Event 5, stones. Now this is an event that I see as a staple of strongman. One of the principles of my training is to focus on stones as if it's the most important event to be a master at. Because almost every strongman competition ends in stones, and to be confident in stone lifting, no matter how tired or messed up mentally you are, is key. Because you could even be ahead of the pack. If you mess up on stones, you're going to lose your placing. You could be in the bottom of the pack, and if you do great in stones, you could shoot all the way up because everyone else is tired and mostly everyone else is not going to do so well. So I had to really put it on. I started warming up with stones before everybody else. Practiced running up to the stones, not just lifting them to warm up. While everyone else was still focusing on the Hercules hold, I would basically do little drills where I'd step a few steps back, imagine the whistle blowing, running up to the stone, grabbing it and scooping up. Just to really get that rhythm of getting my hands on it as quickly as possible, have the stone up in the air as soon as I get right up to it. And that really paid off, because when I went up to compete, I was able to completely zone everything out, zone all the noise, push out all the noise from my head of the previous placings, how I've been doing, do the job I came here to do.
Martins Licis. Very fast. You must be impressed with that. It's just really strong. That's not fast enough. When you're at the time on that, the person is in first or second there, ladies and gents. Can we get that verified? I think I'm first place. I thought to do it. Let's have a look. Licis leader, yes.
Wembley's awesome. I'm tired.
The jet lag's kicked in.
Oh, jet lag and exhaustion from the year. I've put everything into my training for the previous show I did. So, to be here and just to finish strong means the world to me. I didn't start off strong. Did even worse than I did in training here. But moving forward, I get to learn from this show. I did not come prepared. I only prepared 1 week, hardly. So, preparation is key, everybody. Thank you.
What does strongman mean to you?
Strongman is challenging what the human body can do. Finding out what strength can accomplish. And, of course, just inspiring people to be strong. Thank you very much.
It was very interesting getting the placing I did in Wembley. Let me tell you something about the mindset of it. Ending World's Strongest Man, I knew in the back of my head I shouldn't take my strength for granted. I knew that I worked so hard to get that position, had so much preparation and focus to get the placing I did. But after all of that work, after all the years leading up to that one childhood dream come true, I felt I deserved the break. I felt I wanted to take my strength for granted. I wanted to think it was just pure talent because I wanted to take it for granted. I wanted to believe that the momentum of all these years of training would just carry right through and take me through this next event. But it was a reality check. And I was afraid of this. I was afraid that I would get second place even going to Wembley. I was deathly afraid going into the show as world's strongest man. I'd get second place. I mean, it's phenomenal. That was my worry. That my worry was that I would get second place. Not even that I would lose or get somewhere in the middle of the pack. That second place was my fear. To climb back up to third place and take a podium finish felt like a huge victory. Third place, something that I didn't even see on the radar as a possibility, but still be proud of it, still be happy that I was able to climb back up there, but still also take the lesson. I'm gonna have 4 more years of Strongman. I wanna retire at 33, so whatever is possible in those 4 years, I wanna achieve. I'm going to become the champion of the Arnold Classic Ohio. I'm gonna win World's Strongest Man again. I'm gonna win and get my revenge in Dubai. The training moving forward is gonna be more dialed in, more focused, more intense than it's ever been, to give my fans the best version of myself as a strongman I can be.